Okay, hello. All right, we're going to talk about four mallets today. Four mallet marimba, how to hold the mallets using the Stevens grip. So, this grip was named after Lee Howard Stevens, who came up with the grip. It's mostly used on marimba, not always. There are several other grips available, but I'm just going to be going over the Stevens grip today. So the mallets are numbered from left to right, just as we read sentences in the United States from one, two, three, four. And on music, you'll see it notated as mallets one, two, three, four. What mallets to use for what? Just like in drum music, we have our sticking notated. In marimba music, we have your mallets notated one, two, three, four. I'm going to start with my dominant hand. I am right handed, so I'm going to start with the right hand. And I'm going to start with the outer mallet, mallet four. So the outer mallets, I'm going to flip my hand over and just show you how the outer fingers hold it. So yeah, these are our weakest fingers, the ring finger and pinky. So these are the ones that hold the outer mallet. So where do we put the back of the mallet? It rests on that part of our palm right here, the outer part of our palm when we flip our hand over. And I put it so that we don't want it too far back, else we're going to ouch, 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 hit ourselves, or not too far forward. Then you have so much weight coming out. It's so much weight on the top of the mallet. It just puts a lot of stress on these little weak fingers. So I put it right here on the palm. It's anchored by these two fingers, and I get a little more power by setting them out on the palm. So if there's a part where I want more power, then I can use the stroke and my wrist. I'm just gonna strike right there, so keep it in the camera view. That way I'm actually using the palm of the hand to get the volume. Okay. And of course, the middle finger there. So next mallet, also known as the inner mallet or mallet three. So the end of the mallet, I put it right in the center of my hand, and that's how I play. And tip to tip, middle finger curls over, tip of the middle finger, tip of the inside mallet, boom. That is our anchor. And then I'm going to rotate my hand to French grip, where thumb is on top. The mallet rests on the distal knuckle, medical term, distal furthest farther away, knuckle of the index finger, and then boom, thumb comes down and anchors the mallet to the index finger. So that is our Stevens grip from top view. And let's see. Yeah. And I found the most comfortable interval to play on the marimba. I am using shorter mallets just so they're in the view of the camera. That's why. Yes, these are technically vibe mallets. Rattan handles. Yes, they are a little warped. They've been played a lot. So the most comfortable interval I found is a third when first learning this grip. So we're going to strike a third. I'm going to go up here and just strike on the ends. So this is also called a double vertical, two mallet heads, one hand. There's your double vertical, up and down. So a good exercise to get yourself more used to this new kind of grip, because our hand is not used to this. The muscles, tendons, ligaments are not used to holding these things. So we have to build up our stamina, build up muscles, build up everything in order to continue to play with four mallets without injury. So another thing to notice, yes, the inner mallets are above the outer mallet. That's just how it is. How do we make sure we're not going blah blah when we don't want to? Sometimes we do want to, sometimes we don't. So how do we fix that? We could just slightly rotate our forearm over, our arm over. That way we have both mallet heads striking at the same time. And hey, wait a minute, the inside mallet is further above or further away than the outer mallet. Just rotate out a little bit. I'm going to come back here. So while we're learning four mallets, we still want to make sure that we have good sound quality. I'm going to stay up here. So we want to make sure that we're playing in the center of the bar and make sure that the inner mallets are not so far ahead that we're getting a totally different tone. So how do we fix that? Yeah, just rotate out a little bit and boom, there you go. Now we're in the same on the same plane as the resonators underneath, or you can play just ahead of it, whichever you do. We just want to make sure we have a good sound quality. Yeah, but and then we check our grip. So, do we have our anchor? Do we have our tip to tip, middle finger to the end of the inside mallet? Or is the outer mallet being controlled? Mine moved just a little bit. So, and then is the inner mallet resting on the, yep. What I find a lot is new students students learning this grip for the first time, they want to bring their index finger in because it seems like out of control. Make sure that the index finger is, I call it like a backward C, or that you're pointing that way and that the finger is completely relaxed. So when first learning this grip, you want to make sure that everything is correct. Otherwise, we can't really move forward to the next part. And why do we want that finger relaxed? So that we can do this. So the anchor, the middle finger, is still anchoring the end of the mallet, but we're able to rotate and increase our range. Okay, so just learning, we're going to step back, check the grip as you're playing the exercises. So I'm going to bring my left hand in, outer fingers, grabbing the outer mallet. There we go, just a little bit. This is weird to do with. A little bit off the back here. I am grabbing the inner mallet, tip to tip, middle finger, tip of the end of the mallet. The mallet is resting on my index finger, the distal knuckle, thumb comes down, boom, there we go. So we have fulcrum, four fulcrums in this. Pivot point is here, the middle finger with the palm, there's a pivot point back out here, there's a pivot point as well. So both hands, they will mirror each other. So we can do our thirds, double verticals, while keeping our grip. It's going to feel weird at first. It will feel weird, but I promise, learn the grip correctly the first time, get your hands used to it. Then after a while, it'll feel weird holding just two mallets. So play, check the grip. Turn the hands over. Are we still good? Tip to tip, middle finger, yep, outer fingers holding, yep. We have the middle mallet on the index, yep. So when we have both hands filled with mallets, the index finger, please try not to pull it in. Keep the index finger relaxed. So they're pointing at each other. So the index finger, when you look down, the index finger should be pointing at each other. Hey, what's up? Yeah, hey, yeah. That way, when we move on to more advanced things with this grip, then the index fingers are ready to go. They're relaxed and ready to go. So check the grip, flip it over, tip to tip, outer mallet, okay. Inner mallet, thumb set. There we go. And yes, we want the good sound quality. So how do we do that? The inner mallets they're forward. Rotate out a little bit. Boom, there we go. Now all the mallet heads are directly over the resonator, or however you want to play. Just in front of it, just in back of it, or just over. But they're all on the same plane and in a line. So yeah, I hope that helped. So just holding four mallets, yes, it's going to feel weird. Please take a lot of breaks when you're learning this. Look at those streaks. That is from these weak fingers holding those outside mallets. Yes, that is normal. They will ache after a little bit. So play, 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 check, play, 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 check, play, 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 check. Get those mallets out of your hands and relax. Okay, some stretches may help. You could do these stretches. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that, but give yourself some grace. We don't want injury when first learning to hold these mallets. So take breaks and then pick them up again. Get them set. Yeah, these are these are a bit warped. Get set, then so tip to tip, outer mallet, inner mallet, good. There we go. And third. So do your exercise, relax, get the blood flow. Yep, you're gonna see those streaks there. Yep, yep, yep. You may build a callus here. You may build calluses here. Yum, yum. And yep, you're gonna build calluses here because the outer mallet, it does rub up against this, the middle finger. Okay. So that's just the name of the game. And so I hope this video helped. And we'll go into more advanced 4 mallet things in the next one.